Hello, everyone, and welcome to Small Talk. This is the Smallville Retrospective Rewatch Podcast. On one third of your co-hosts, my name is Ryan Cam. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are diving in head first into season 8 after the premiere. Thankfully, these episodes are a little better. But joining me as always from 3D Movie Cinema, wearing his best attire that would not fly at the Daily Planet, it's Jacob Collins. Jacob, how you doing?
I'm great, and I just did not realize I was just like just comfortable, one dressed comfortably, and so I just realized like, oh yeah, I'm dressed like Clark in this daily plan. I was
Well,
like, yeah, you're right, I am. I was like, my bad. I didn't realize that was not intentional. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be comfortable tonight, and so yeah, but I'm really these episodes aren't bad. Like, yes, I've been just for building up to season. I've been dogging on season eight, and so watching these three episodes, I'm like, you know what? These aren't bad. Like, episode two is really good. And I have issues with two and three, but like, I would say these are miles better than like the product placement episode that we had in season seven.
yeah, and I mean, like I said, I'm keeping an open mind for this season, but to be perfectly honest, I enjoyed all three of these pretty equally, I would say. But joining us also is Matt Wyatt. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing a little bit good. I'm recovering from my fucking sickness because I've been sick for the last couple of weeks and we've been a little bit absent. But now I'm finally getting better and now I'm starting ready to go and cover these three episodes.
Yeah, the voice is getting stronger and must have had John Johns take you on a trip around the sun or something.
That's just what I needed.
But before we jump in, if you do like this and you want to see more like it, hit the like, subscribe button, click the bell for notifications. We're doing this every Tuesday. And yeah, the train is just not stopping.
We are doing something also together that is superhero related, and it is in the DC realm that is not Superman, but is someone of the night.
It's the new adventures of Adam Knight. But let's get into talking.
Adam Knight. That is a such a season two or three callback, season three
Season
callback, like
three. Yeah.
Adam Knight.
But
Season three. I mean, literally, you're like, remember Adam Knight? And you're like, oh yeah, I remember that. Like, you know, it's sad. If you we never would this podcast, and someone said Adam Knight, and I'm like, who's that? And
who?
I'm like, but then like the fact is, we talked about how much this just as a character is like the discount fake Batman that would just goes in a completely opposite direction.
But but on that note, that's coming down the road, and we'll talk about that as it comes up. But let's get going. This is season 8, episode number 2, called Plastique. And no, this is not some newfangled plastic that Elon or Bezos came up. This is a literal name of a character in the DC universe.
Or the thing that Kyle Reese eats in Terminator.
Good
If
point.
you watch the Terminator, you get what he says. What do we have for dinner? Plastique. I was like, what?
I will try to find that clip.
The one you save
I remember you helped me get off the bus.
the girl's dangerous can destroy the ones you love.
I can't risk you turning on me too.
No!
I wish you hadn't made me do that.
Smallville, all new next Thursday at 8/7 Central on the CW.
Clark's first day on the job at the Daily Planet begins with a bus exploding, as happens, which leads him and Lois on a trail of someone who might be infected by kryptonite. Chloe finds a runaway teenager named Bet, whom Chloe suspects is involved in the explosion, when Bet, whom will later become the Firestarter Plastique, has the meteor rock power of pyrokinesis. She's basically the little girl from Firestarter. In the meantime, Chloe also meets a local medic named Davis Bloom, Sam Witwer, who takes an interest in her even though she's engaged to Jimmy Olsen. Elsewhere, Tess meets Clark for the first time as she takes over the Daily Planet in Lex's absence and immediately senses something is not right about him. So the very first scene in in this episode, the bus explodes, and we find out that Tess takes public transit. Now they do
And
explain
then she's called a liar in the next episode.
Yeah, she was full of shit.
Because you
that.
get her car is parked in an alleyway. I'm like, okay, well, Tess is full of shit.
Yeah, someone's got to save the planet. I'm like, Yeah, sure, Jan. I'll believe that when pigs
Oh
fly.
yeah, we're still believing in that whole climate stuff back in 2008 and had a little wink going green.
An inconvenient truth in the minds of the showrunners for no particular reason.
This was released right in 2008, so this was
Yeah,
like
it was.
George
Yeah.
Bush era. This was George Bush era. Yeah.
Well, no, this was in the
Well,
Obama era.
end
No, this was
end
George
of
Bush
end of
2008 because
Are
Obama
you
became
sure?
president
Are you sure? Oh,
2009.
maybe.
the end
Yeah, you're probably right.
it's the end of W and the beginning of Obama.
They sure come on. And listen here,
Hey,
Clark.
let me tell you something.
Let me hear you tell you something, okay? Don't throw a shoe at me, okay? If you don't know that reference, you are a
Oh
legend. If
fuck
you
the
know that
shoe shit.
reference.
I almost forgot all about that. Now it just
Years
brought up memory.
ago,
I
for
remember
context,
that
someone threw a
shit, dude.
shoe at George W. Bush. Like he was doing a press conference with a foreign leader, and someone took a shoe and threw it at him.
Someone just
And he
fucking
did
took a
this.
shoe
He's
and
like,
just throw the fucking thing at him. There's a video of it and we caught it. Like, what the hell?
I'm like, out of he threw a shoe, and then he gets tackled by Secret Service. Like, he's got a shoe, everyone.
Like, this was not even dramatic. This was just so fucking funny that we couldn't take it seriously. Like, I remember that shit happened. Like, what?
Me in the
When he
future.
did the way he dodged it, like
He
Me
dodged
and
that like he was Matrix.
me in the future do two things. Number one, find the W clip. I know it's out there. And number
And find the
two,
Matrix clip where he just dodges bullets. Like,
I'll do you one better. The Austin Powers clip where he says, "Who throws a shoe?" Honestly.
Who throws a shoe? Honestly.
oh, that's the
Who's the
one.
shoe?
That's the
Honestly.
one. You fight like a woman.
that's literally our
That's
only
perfect.
political humor we will do for small this week on Smallville.
I mean, we don't get political, but there are good
No.
moments that we just got to make fun of this. This is
that
just
was
fucking
hilarious though. Like when he throws the
That was
shoe, it's just
fucking great.
The
I was
leader
waiting
of
for them to Secret Service to say we are no longer allowing reporters to carry shoes.
It's like take your shoes off when you're in a press conference.
like when the leader of the free world asks, "Is our children learning?" How can you not find that funny? Honestly.
Dude, everybody in my fucking school was laughing when we were talking about it in class. Like, oh my God, the dude fucking threw a shoe at him and we were laughing.
It's like he's the shoe. He said like literally he walks in there with a shoe and he's like,
I remember
Okay,
George
shoe.
W. just fucking dodged like fuck
what
one
was,
damn
what
dude.
was his plan? Like I'm gonna throw a shoe at him and that's gonna hurt him. He's gonna be like, ow, who throws a shoe? Honestly,
Who throws a shoe? Honestly.
He
he's
gets
like,
hit in- he
really,
gets hit in
dude,
the-
come on.
He gets
Out
hit
of
in the
everything you
face
could have
with
thrown,
a
you could have thrown
shoe.
soup. You could have
I
thrown
feel like the
food.
guy fucking took notes from Austin
threw a
Powers. He thought he can use a shoe as a weapon to throw it at George W.
like it was gonna do like in the movie Austin Powers where the shoe flies and it cuts the statue's head off. So when the guy throws the shoe at Austin, it hits him and he goes,
And just like,
ow,
ow.
what does a shoe? Honestly, you fight like a girl.
You fight like a woman.
I was like, oh, that
Like,
makes. I just
what
watched that
would've
movie
happened?
too a couple weeks.
W would have gotten hit in the face with the shoe, and then the wasted graphic from Grand Theft Auto would have popped up.
Wasted.
That would be fucking just wasted.
Okay, so back to
Back to this episode.
We're getting a little off track because it's just too funny. I did really enjoy the episode. I think it was like a good thing that we see Clark now doing his little super heroic, working at the Daily Planet alongside with Lois. I thought their team dynamic was pretty good. The whole meteor freak incident, I didn't really like it that much. I thought it was a little bit weak to me.
Like new seasons.
But the introduction of Davis Bloom, Sam Woodward, which I really think Sam Woodward's a terrific actor, and he's now a regular in this season. If you've seen him in the intro,
Okay, he's a regular in this season. At the end of, I believe, this episode, we see him like he just got out of the bubble at the beginning of the Terminator, like he just came over from 2019 or whatever. I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, this guy's someone important, but no one's really telling me.
what do you think he is? I'm gonna hear your predictions.
yeah,
What do you
because there's
think
the
he
end
is?
of the episode where he's sitting in the laying in the
Naked.
alleyway naked. It looked like he blacked out and something's happening. And what do you think he is?
He had a great night on Grinder.
I guess.
Um, maybe Brainiac found another form. That's the best that I can come up with. But just me in the future play the I can neither confirm nor deny clip here.
I can neither confirm nor deny details of any such operation without the Secretary's approval.
You'll find out. Trust me, as the season goes on, you'll find out who he is.
You'll probably put two and two together
Oh,
in
it
like
should be
several
like it
episodes.
should be in the coming episode. Like you'll find
I
out.
think the episode maybe Prey will give you the idea of who he is.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's someone important, or else why would they make Sam Witwer a regular?
It.
Like,
Oh, I will say. I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say who it is, but I will say it is a very important
Oh
character in
yeah,
the DC lore.
absolutely. But also
Very.
like with Sam Witwer, like I remember like when I know we talked about this in the premiere bit, but when I first saw Sam Witwer at the time before Smallville, it was Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, the game when he played Starkiller, and that was my first introduction to Sam Witwer
I
as an
will say one
actor.
thing. I
And
will
then I
say
found out
one.
that he was going to be in Smallville. I was like, oh, now I get to see him actually perform in live action. But I know that he had a track record before he did Star Wars, before he did Smallville. He was in Battlestar Galactica. Then back in like 2007, he was in the Darabont's movie, the Stephen King adaptation called The Mist.
And he was also in the first episode of The Walking Dead as the tank zombie.
Oh yeah, I didn't recognize him. It was
Yeah.
like he was
Yeah,
totally
where it shoots.
unrecognizable. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
he
makes
said he was
sense.
angry because they said originally they had the idea for him to come back in a flashback in season 2 at the beginning, but then they scrapped it, and also
Oh
because
yeah,
which because of fired Frank Darabont.
right.
And so yeah, and so which I love. I love him as an actor. He's really funny, especially him and Michael Rosenbaum. Like they literally just goof off on the podcast. Like Michael, if you seen them at conventions, him and Michael Rosenbaum, they're just sitting there doing Christopher Walken walk offs. Like, oh, why? What? He said, that's what, Michael Rosenbaum said. My only regret is never got to do season 8 with him because he was so good. That's what Michael
Dude, it
Rosenbaum
would have
said.
been, dude,
He
that would
said
have been
he
so
was.
cool. It would have been so cool if Michael Rosenbaum stayed on the show and they bonded in the show together. Dude,
Yeah,
that would have been
he
so
loved
good.
work. He said because I love doing conventions with him. He said he's one of my
He
favorites
would have
because
loved to work with Michael Rosenbaum.
oh yeah, Michael Rosenbaum did say Sam Witwer did say something funny. He said him and Tom Welling were one time standing by a train station. They're having monologue, and all of a sudden the train comes by and they have to pause. Like the director's like cut, and they're just standing there looking at each other and they're like wait to break wait just hold your lines and they're like and they're just standing there just shaking their heads like this and Tom Welling's about to laugh. And then the train's just about to, and then he starts laughing. They both start laughing as the train's going by because they're like, Clark, let me tell you something, Clark. It's something important. Okay. And all of a sudden they're like, the train's coming by and they're just standing there like, mm-hmm. And then the train drives away. And then they're like, all right, action. Like, okay, we're gonna need a second because we gotta get this back. Which I thought that was fun. I will say I did like that they brought in a famous DC character, Plastique, which is that she's in the comics.
Oh yeah, that's definitely
Yeah.
true.
And so I thought that was really great that, I love when they bring in comic
But
book
did you know the
characters.
actress that plays Bet
He
Plastique?
would play in
She
the
she
Flash
later
as the
plays in the
Flash's
Flash
daughter.
series that was Barry Allen's daughter in the show.
Yeah.
Now she's about to have a kid. I think she already had a kid already. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh
wow.
yeah, what you've been stalking her Instagram? You're like, oh, I gotta find
It's
out
like,
if she's single.
my,
I gotta find out if she's single.
I have to find
I
out.
might have a shot. Uma Thurman from Batman and Robin when I was a kid. Gotta find out if she's
Yeah,
single.
but we find out
Ethan
that she's a meteor freak, that she outplayed Chloe and Clark and trying to frame this one dude who got caught on the bus, the one that sold her out. I mean, yeah, it was an interesting plot twist, but it kind of just felt weak. But she's one
I
of the
would.
escape. But she's one of the escapees at Black Creek that Chloe was in a few like weeks ago.
So was that dude on the bus with her? That's not understood.
Yeah,
Was
I
he
know.
on the
That's
bus?
what. Yeah, I think that
Was
he
it like
was.
Tess walks on the bus and goes, her right there. She's the meteor freak Tess. Her. And she goes, you
Yeah, and
ass.
but she's also a
Her.
street rat.
Yeah, it's right here. And then she goes, wow.
Oh my God.
Like I'm just saying. I mean, I do like the fact that I do. There are things I did put in my notes that I thought was really funny. Where I thought I do like Clark, the opening where Clark is literally he literally dresses up like normal and
Yeah,
everything,
he's
and then
dressed up in a flannel and he has a backpack and like,
Lois goes and just steals a guy's clothes, a spare
yeah, it's like,
shirt.
dude, he keeps his extra fucking suit around near his desk. Who does that?
Like
And then Clark,
I can speak
Oh
from
yeah, one close, one size fits all. Apparently, it fits him perfectly.
I can
I
speak
would be so angry.
I can
I
speak
would
from
be
my
pissed.
experience.
You better pay me a lot of money. You better owe me a dinner and movie if you're gonna take my fucking work clothes.
And then he gets it all dirty.
I know. It's like on his first day on the job.
What are you saying, Ryan?
I was just gonna say that as someone who did a little bit of like writing for a local paper, I can confirm that the dress there was just business casual. Like nobody wore suits. So like the storm that like Lois fired up of like, you can't wear that, you'll be labeled farm boy the rest of your career. I'm like, um, is it really that professional like around here? Like really? Like I don't know.
And
It just
also, they haven't seen him. They haven't
Dude,
seen
you
Clark
work
yet.
in a
Like they know
dude,
that
you're
he
working in a copy basement for fuck's sake.
Clark could walk around in like flannel because he's the mailroom boy, basically. Which, by the way, shouldn't he be in the mailroom, basically, like the
Yeah, I
mailroom boy?
know. That's
Because
crazy.
he has no journalistic degree. That's my biggest issue with
His only
Superman.
journalistic record is working at the Torch in fucking Smallville High.
that's
He
about
never even finished college.
no.
No, he's a college dropout.
Jarrell got him the degree.
But apparently he make a good impression from the boss because Tess Mercer, because he's the one that saved her life from the bus. Now
And
she's got a little bit suspicious of him because of Lex.
if only Twitter were around, he could have an account with several million followers and be like, I'm better than all of these journalists, despite having no journalism degree whatsoever.
Someone, what was it? I don't know if I've said this before. I probably have, but back in like season 11, when they were at season 10, the final season at Comic Con,
Oh
Tom
yeah.
Welling, because you know in season 9, Tom Welling never attended Comic Con. By the way, never
No,
did
he
the
never
Smallville
did.
panels,
But
never.
but when they were covering the final season, that was his
Yeah.
first
Well, actually, no.
attending at
Season 9 was
Comic-Con.
his first one. Season 10 was the second, his second appearance
Oh,
at Comic-Con.
I could have sworn it was
Yeah,
season
no,
10
he
that was
was.
his
He wore a
first.
dress. He dressed business casual at Comic Con too, and everybody was trying to tell him, "You can't. You don't have to dress business casual. Like it's just shirt and t-shirt. You
Dude,
know,
it's Comic-Con, dude.
it's
You don't need a
Comic Con."
dress.
But yeah, he was literally
apparently
there.
Tom Welling did not get the memo.
Like, which you know, everybody was there because I mean, but yeah, they were at season 10. Someone asked Tom Welling, "How did you?" He says, "How did you know? How did you become a journalist? You know, like how did you when you didn't finish college?" And then Tom Welling starts laughing. Tom Welling goes, "Clark got his degree online. He got his degree online."
That's one way to put it.
The funniest part was the kid asked, "Do you ever feel like a little kid asked, dressed like Superman asked, do you ever feel like being Superman when even when you're offset?" And then Tom Welling just goes like this. He goes, "No." I was like, no.
Damn, you just crushed this kid's dream.
I was like, dang, no. But yeah, I like I would just be more mad at the fact that Tom Welling, that Clark got dirty that man's suit. Like that suit is ruined now because it's just nothing full of burnt.
It's fucking ash, burnt
Just-
ash.
Like I would be so angry.
I did
Also-
like that. I did like that Lois was just waterboarding him with the rules of her lowest journalistic rules thing.
I will say that it didn't take you out of the show that it's all on a soundstage kind of thing where it's like this is just a giant set.
Oh yeah, especially when it was shot digitally, you can totally tell that it's shot on the on a studio lot.
Yeah, it's so distracting. Like, and what's even worse is that at the start of the last episode we're talking about tonight, we're on the Ken farm, and I'm like, oh, thank God I've missed
That's a
you.
real location.
And
Yeah,
then
because that's the only real location that they filmed. And in
we're
the
back to
Talon, which is
back to, like,
that was still
Techwood,
practical.
like Techwood Studios or L Street or wherever it is, and I'm just like this is not the same.
Yeah, it's like at least whenever the showrunners they went out to real locations, like the woods where Lionel like kept like the dam and stuff like that. Then this one is just like okay, this coffee shop. They're at a coffee shop,
They're
and
at
then
the
they're at this
Talon,
place.
then the Kent Farm, then the Daily Planet, then in the outside of the metropolis, in the same exact area that that you're
By
going
the
to
way,
constantly
the
see
same
all three
episode 2
seasons.
where Oliver gets poisoned is the exact same location in episode 3 where Jimmy Olsen literally gets kissed. It's the same exact.
Yeah, it was the UC clubs or something. That's what
It's
it's
the
called.
same club, and I'm like, okay, like I mean, I'm trying.
That's
like,
going to be
look.
their go-to club when they drink or some incident happened.
Oh
Which
yeah,
it was not the first time, but it was not the first time we saw that club because remember the last time we saw that in a couple of episodes of season 7, we saw a little bit of the club there too.
Yeah, I'm gonna try not to. I know we keep like taking it out of like the equation of like, okay, it's a show, but still, I'm gonna
Yeah, but
try
it's
not
like it's
to.
one of those things that you can't like. We know that there are some
It's
issues
a
with the production
soundstage,
value.
okay? Yeah, because
Yeah,
they
we know they're
cheapen the
shooting in the
production.
studio a lot, and we just have to just like not think about it too much and just go along with it.
Yeah, but you know what? I will say one thing. I will say I think about this episode. I do like the fact that, Clark was suspicious about like why would you take the bus, a CEO, and she goes, I'm trying to go green. And I like how they have like a fun moment. Like she's like, I'm not trying to be your enemy, I'm your friend. Like
Yeah, because
it's
she's trying to do is trying to make him his friend and not the enemy because she worked with Lex Luthor and she knows everything about him. She was her second like hand man, woman, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And she tries like, hey, I'm not your enemy. I'm here as your friend. And if you know anything about Lex's whereabouts, you should tell me and you can trust me. But Clark knows better to not trust someone that works with a Luthor.
Also, I do like the fact that I do like the fact that Davis Bloom when he's like whenever this girl's like I just want to go like everything, he's like he has nowhere to go, and he just goes and sits next to her and goes, I know this school, like this boarding school, like that really just helps people straighten out, and I thought like that was really nice of him. I thought like
Yeah.
what, he's a
He's like,
really
hey,
nice
he's giving
guy
up.
for doing that.
Yeah, because she was about to drop her off in the shelter. It's like, no, she's 15 and you should the shelter is not going to be a good place for her.
Which did you ever call BS whenever she said she's 15? I'm like, she's at least 25. There's no
Yeah,
way.
there's no way in fucking hell you're 15.
Yes,
Like
way older than that.
she's the Chris O'Donnell of child actors right there. Because remember in Batman and Robin, they're like, "Oh, Chris O'Donnell, oh, he's a child, he's only a teenager," and I'm
Dude,
like,
you look like you're
he's a
fucking 30.
grown man. He's
I'd be like Will Smith from Bad Boys 2. Shit, you look 30.
at least 30. Like, I was like, well, this girl is like literally, she's old enough. Literally, she looks like she went to high school with Chloe. Okay, there's no way that
She looks like she's old enough to be in college.
okay. I'm just saying, but yeah, I did like, what? But I will say, I did like that Chloe was like, she said the Girl Scout cookies when she made the line about Girl Scout cookies. She said, "Well, this Girl Scout cookie is about take her cookies and go." Like, I or the line. What was the line?
Yeah, she was a Girl Scout or whatever the hell it was.
I love that when Chloe snapped back at her. Like,
It's like, yeah, I'm gonna go home. So yeah, if you're lost, either you come with me or you don't.
I like Clark's line. How I saw how the job. He tells Tess. I like the line where he says, "I saw how the job consumed Lex. I'd hate to see the same thing happen to you."
Ooh, yeah, that was a
I
good
thought that
one.
was a good line. I was like, that is a great line. Like,
But she knows that he's full of shit, that he knows more than what he's
oh, I
telling
know.
her.
Like,
Yeah,
he's
She
trying to
knew
give
it
her the
and
benefit
she
of the
knew it
doubt.
instantly. She smelled BS all over him.
everyone just
Also,
talks in loaded statements on this show.
That's
this
here's
is
the thing,
literally the
Smallville.
monologue show.
Smallville should be called the land of gaslighters.
I am
Exactly.
going to monologue, okay? Instead of instead of hurting you. By the way, that literally happens at the end of the episode. Instead of hurting the girl, he's like, he monologues to her. Which I'm just like, but the line was so good. But yeah, what was the line? Yeah, so at the end, I really liked the end, how it felt like an X-Men moment. Like it felt like he was Professor Xavier talking to a young mutant because they both have abilities. They're both
It's like, hey, you're
mutants.
not alone, blah blah blah. That kind
Yeah.
of speech.
I like the line. It was Clark's speech to class about not hiding who you are. Like it was literally like
Yeah, it's
that
like,
was
hey, I know
something.
firsthand because I had to hide who I was.
That was such a good line. I'm like, that felt like a line from
That
X-Men.
felt like, yeah, it felt like a little bit of X-Men, but it also like came to the point where, yeah, he was more close to being Superman at that moment. His little Superman moment speech.
That to me, I was like, this is what Smallville is. When he gave that line, I was like, this is why I love the show. It's like it makes you feel like, okay, yes. I mean, obviously we can joke about some of the things
Helping out the little people, that kind of
yeah.
thing, that kind of moment what Superman does.
I do like that Davis was thinking Chloe is Clark or Clark is Chloe's fiance.
Oh yeah, he got the whole thing mixed up and he thought that Clark and Chloe were together and he thought that when she was engaged, that I was engaged to Clark. I like the whole mix up thing when he crossed paths with Clark in the hospital.
Yeah, I thought that was great. And also it's nice to see Metropolis is set. Like, not like, they're always good. Have you noticed like in the past 7 seasons, they're never a Metropolis gen, it's always Smallville gen. Even
But
whenever
now
someone
they're in
gets
the
hurt in
Metropolis, Jen.
Metropolis,
Now they're in
Smallville gen.
Metropolis.
Yeah, I'm like, it's nice to finally see a
The
Metropolis
main
hospital.
characters got hell of a fucking medical insurance whenever they get injured.
I'm like, it's nice to see finally that someone's at Metropolis gen and not Smallville gen. Even though you could
Are you
tell
sure it's
it's the
not the same?
same.
Are you sure it's not the same set that they filmed?
No, because they made it more silver and shinier and metal. They
Yeah,
made it
because
look
it's
more
fancy,
like,
because it's Metropolis and it's not Smallville, Matt.
yeah, they're like, it's not just like literally the same hospital we've been to for 7 seasons. I will say, I mean, obviously, besides, you would expect the CEO of Luthor Corp to be at her office at Luthor Corp. Like, she's at like the Daily Planet, and I'm like, you're the head CEO of Luke. She even says in the first episode of season 8, I'm the CEO of Luther Corp and all of subsidiaries, which, yes, the Daily Planet is a subsidiary, to be fair.
Yeah, because Lex bought the Daily Planet and he's the editor in chief on that. So now she's taking his place.
But like, so she is literally the acting, she signs the paychecks, okay? All
The
right.
acting CEO.
But then there's going to be something that contradicts her job later on this season. You know what I'm talking about, Ryan?
Yeah,
Not Matt. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I
we'll,
do. I
we'll,
didn't. I know.
we'll get to that and a lot more as we progress. But let's go to ratings. Jacob, 1 to 10.
Okay, so but I if I had to give this a rating out of Shields, I would say, you know what? I'm gonna say 7 out of 10.
Okay, Matt, what about you?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much a solid episode. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7. It's really good. I liked it a lot more than the premiere.
Well, we are
If it
simpatico.
because it literally, sorry if I'm cutting you off, but it did feel like a brand new chapter. Like now he's getting away from the farm. Now he's going in Metropolis, being a superhero, but then being a journalist. Except that he's not wearing the Clark Kent disguise and not wearing a cape.
I agree. Well, we are simpatico. I'm going 7 as well. This was very enjoyable. Not perfect, but definitely better than I was expecting. Definitely better than the premiere. This was bad
Mhm.
needed, like to kind of a palate cleanse. But let's move on now. And me in the future introduce this with Britney Spears is toxic
Motherfucker.
because
I'm so mad because I put in my notes, it's a shame. It's a sin that they did not add the song Toxic by Britney Spears in this episode at all because the episode's called Toxic.
well, I
Yeah.
was gonna say it was in your notes and I was gonna run with it, but
And
I,
you stole it from him.
I was gonna
I'm
give
gonna
him
call
credit.
fraud. I'm gonna call fraud. It is a fraud. There is literally fraud here.
There's
Okay.
another
I
fraud
won.
here.
I
There's a
won.
fraud.
They're eating the
I'll let it.
dogs, but
I'm not gonna concede.
let's let's get into season 8, episode 3 called Toxic.
I swore that if I ever made it off this island, I'd change. Wouldn't waste my life. It starts now.
Smallville, all new next Thursday at 8/7 Central on the CW.
Oliver Queen is poisoned at a charity fundraiser and Clark races around the world to find a cure. So I hope you all like Justin Hartley as Oliver Queen because this is basically his episode and they cram basically all of the island stuff and all the stuff of Oliver on his own from Arrow into like this episode. And I think I'm
It's literally an origin story for Oliver Queen.
and if you
Yeah.
think I'm dogging on it, I really am not because this is honestly my favorite of the three.
Really?
I'm gonna say the same thing. It's my favorite of the 3.
I don't know. You're gonna hate my hot take. I actually like the other one. The last one is my
Plastique.
favorite of the 3.
Oh, the plastic is your favorite of the 3? Oh, okay.
I just thought it was a
No,
fun
okay.
episode. It was fun. I thought it was
No,
fun.
that's fair. No, that's a fair
Yeah,
choice.
I get it. Yeah.
It was fun. I just thought it was fun. Like, but yeah, I will say I do like this. The only thing I hate about this episode is the flashback cinematography. And the only reason why I hate it more than anything is because
You
season
didn't
9
like,
and 10,
but you didn't like how it was lit at the flashback sequence?
no, this how it was shot. Like how it
Oh,
was
how
shot,
it was, oh, how they filmed it.
lit up
Oh,
and how
gotcha.
you know why I hate it so much? Because guess what? They changed cinematography for season 9 and 10, and they shoot it just season 9 and 10 are shot from episode 1 all the way to the finale to the final episode of the series. From season 9 and 10 are shot like that. So that means if you like the flashback cinematography look where the lights are yellowish and everything is darker lit, that's how it's going to be shot 9 going forward. Season 8 is the last season. It looks like normal. Season 9 and 10 are shot like not like that flashback, and that's what makes me mad because I'm like, why does Smallville look like this?
I didn't think
Smallville's-
about that. I didn't never really thought about
I
that.
never.
But no, it makes sense.
I was like, you could tell that Kelly Sanders and Brian Patterson were like, I like this flashback episode. We should include this.
Let's keep that person
Let's
on
keep that
board.
look and then
Let's
go on
keep
9
that
and 10.
look. Let's just keep that look from fucking
Change it
season
up.
9 to 10.
John
That's our
Smith,
stuff.
man is a genius.
Yeah,
he's a genius.
let's fire our cinematographer and keep this because that's
Fuck
what
the other
Smallville
guy.
really
Fuck
wants.
the
They
other
want
guy.
to
Let's
change.
get this guy here.
Like, oh my god, that was the worst mistake ever. Because I'm like,
So,
this is not small.
so what if every shot in every episode looks like piss?
That's like, I mean, so the writing is pretty decent still, but I'm just like, come on, like, does it really? Do we really need a whole like? I guess because they're trying to, it's like you know, in Alien versus Predator Requiem, how they're trying to like they make everything darker so that can cover up the bad. This is practical. It's
Just so
like
they,
that where
yeah,
it's
because they're
like
trying to cover up the bad shit that they filmed.
Like,
it's even cheaper this season, so we're gonna make everything darker so they can't see the set guy behind them.
like
I
just
mean,
for
when you say
reference, y'all,
dark, do you mean the tone or the picture? Or you can't
this
see
You
anything. No,
can't
I
see the
can't see.
picture.
I can't see the picture.
just for reference, y'all, this is pretty much every shot in Alien versus Predator Requiem. Like what you're seeing now, this is basically it
That
right.
is also a lot of episodes of Smallville season 9 and 10. That's a lot of episodes. Like literally, I literally went back and watched the final episode of the series the other night just to see something for continuity of something. And I'm like, the whole episode, there is a scene. I'm not gonna say who's in it or what, but there's a scene where two people are talking,
Oh, I know. I know.
and it is like darkly lit, and there is just like
I mean, no
purplish
matter
and
how
yellowish
great that
light.
it was the
And
best
I'm just
scene of
like,
the
what?
whole it was the best scene of the whole episode, but I get where you're coming from. The
It's
way
so
that they lit
dark
it,
and lit.
it was
I'm
just
just
so
like,
dark you had to fucking adjust the fucking picture, the brightness to be able to see it.
like people complain about Game of Thrones,
Or you had to watch it
the
at
long night
nighttime and
being
not
dark.
watch it in
This is,
daytime.
I was like, oh my god. But I'm just saying that was my rant on the cinematography of this.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
get it now.
I
Yeah,
don't
that makes
like the
sense.
cinematography for season 9 and 10, and Ryan's gonna probably agree with me when he starts to see 9 and 10. He's like, yeah, I wish they would have gone back to season 8 because that was a
Please
better
come
picture.
back, please.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there for sure.
All right, yes, but I do like this episode. I do like the episode of how Oliver's being poisoned and everything, and like it's like he keeps seeing. The only thing is I don't like is why is Oliver? He says he was alone on the island when that's a blatant lie because Tess was on the island with him.
Yeah, I was gonna say that makes sense.
To be fair, Oliver Queen's from the Arrowverse thought he was alone on an island, and we know that he wasn't always there. So there's a lot of contradiction. So
He
I
got
don't think he's going to
transported
tell him the
back
whole
and forth,
story.
back and forth, and back
Back
and
and forth. He's on the island. He's off the fucking island. It's like fucking watching Lost. Oh yeah, they're on the
like
island. They're off the island.
it's like
I will
Robin
say the first.
Williams. It's like Robin
I was
Williams.
like, dude, like you think Oliver's gonna tell you the whole story when he was fucking missing for the past couple of years? He's not. His fucking story is a little contradiction
I
from
only see
his
the first two
side of the
episodes
truth.
of the first two seasons of Arrow as like his origin story. Then the rest of it's just like fan fiction.
Yeah, it felt like a fan fiction. Like, what are we doing?
I'm like,
Especially when they come to the later season when they're full
I
circle.
was never,
And then when
in
it was
season three,
going
it's like
back
I
into
was
the
never on the
pilot,
island.
and he
I
wears
was
a
not.
fucking bearded wig and on the what? Like he grew it out in the pilot, and then they just say, "Oh yeah, let him put a wig on and try to fake that he's been on the island for 5 whole years."
You know,
It kind of makes you kind of
It made me
question
roll
your
my eyes.
sanity.
Like that was so fucking stupid.
Like the first two seasons were like peak gold.
Oh, they
A
were
plus.
peak fucking
And
superhero
then
show.
whenever they went and left and did the Flash, they're like, hey, they gave this one guy Mark Guggenheim the series run. Then it started going. You saw the downhill trajectory when he was like, let's make Oliver get with Felicity.
Yeah.
And I'm
And
like, that's not who he gets with in the comics.
I'm fine with that, but even though it just really wasn't necessary, but it was good for the first half of 3, but then the second half,
The Ra's al Ghul
when
stuff was cool, but then
yeah,
whenever
the
it
Ra's al
started,
Ghul was getting good, but then the second half just full of contradiction, and it was stupid that the way they wrapped it up at season 3.
at least with Smallville, at least they deliver with the arrow stuff. They deliver with the
Yeah,
arrows. That's what I will
agree
say
with
about
that.
this.
I do agree
The
with that.
flashbacks, even though, yes, I will say this, at least they didn't go crazy where Oliver was like, oh, and now I joined the Russian mafia and everything. And then all of a sudden I had the super friends. And before I met Clark, I'm like, okay. Now, like, at least it felt like Oliver, yes. Did Oliver,
I did like the fact that for the past couple of years he's been training himself to hunt and learning how to shoot arrows on his own, self-taught. But I think that without giving away too much, he's had a lot more training since he's been off the island, and he did more than just shooting arrows.
mm-hmm.
Also, I do like that Oliver and Tess have a connection, like they know each other.
Oh yeah,
he,
they show the flashback that they had history.
Yeah.
and like he calls her Mercy.
And this is before she became the person that she was a meter. What was she working on? I can't remember. What was her job?
Like she
When
was like a doesn't she like an environmentalist or something
yeah,
like that?
environmentalist. Yeah, that's the one.
Like
Yeah,
for
she was just an
LexCorp or something.
environmentalist, and this was before she met with Lex.
But you know, which I will say one thing I do like though is that Oliver calls her Mercy.
Oh yeah.
Just like in the comics, how Lex calls Mercy Graves Mercy.
hmm
Like
That
he
was a little
calls
bit
her
of it
Mercy.
was a little Easter egg
Yeah, it was an
nod
Easter
to the
egg. Like,
comic book
hey, it's
fans.
because it's Mercy Graves. Get it, Ryan? Mercy Graves.
Yep, I
You
understand.
know,
I don't know when
you know,
I'll
which
I don't know when I'll get a chance to reference this again, so here it goes. I love how when Oliver shoots the heavy who's like holding him hostage, shoots him in the shoulder with an arrow, and his cell of like how he is shot is just the funniest thing. Like he gets shot, he's shot, and he looks at it, and he go, "Bro, why'd you shoot me?" And he just heals up,
What? Oh, what?
and then
like,
and And then when he's like, take it out of me, Oliver's like, there's a leech pool over there. Go make some new friends. I'm like, that is ice cold, Oliver. What are you like?
I will say
Left his
I
ass
did
to
like
die.
though. I did like Oliver though. I did really like Oliver. There's like this just feels like that is the character in the comics. That's why the one thing I didn't like about Arrow, even though I think the first two
I
seasons are
mean,
great,
let's be honest. The Justin Hartley Arrow, the Green Arrow
he
character from
he is more
Smallville,
like the
he's
comic
more
book
faithful.
counterpart.
He's more of the faithful to the
And
source
that's no
material.
disrespect to Stephen
And
Amell.
look,
I think he's
Stephen
a great
Amell
Oliver, but
fucking did the character his own, but the reality is that they want him to make him
he's
more
not
of the
Batman.
Batman, the dark brooding
He is
character.
more. He is the DC version of Tony Stark. Oliver Queen is.
Yeah.
Okay, he is textbook
I mean,
narcissistic.
even though that
Okay,
Oliver Queen in Green
he's
Arrow in the comics was literally more of a ripoff from Batman, and Iron Man was literally a ripoff from Batman too, so it was a little bit more derivative. But this one, for Oliver Queen, he's more of, like you said, he's the personality of Tony Stark in the comics and in the one from Smallville. But the one they did with Arrow with Stephen Amell, as much as I love that take of the Green Arrow character in the Arrowverse, they made him more of the dark brooding Batman. They wanted to be their Batman since they could not put Batman on television because there was no way in hell they're going to put Batman in a television live action show
yeah.
whatsoever.
Well,
But I do like that we have this. Oliver Queen is so great in this though, because
Oh yeah.
he literally is just like. Especially, I like how the only thing is, what was you? I thought he shot a snake at him for a second because when it was so
that's
motion,
what
it
I
had
thought
this. It looked like a snake sigil. I'm like, is he shooting? Did he go put a snake around an arrow and shoot it at him? I'm like,
basically,
what?
he basically was James Earl Jones, rest in peace, from Conan the Barbarian. All of his offense is snake based.
Like he's like,
The one
what's
thing that was a
this?
little bit weird that the same pirate is now hunting down Oliver after all these years. Like, dude, he's a billionaire. He's out in the open, and you waited all these years to hunt him down.
Yeah, like
I kind
Arrow
of
did
felt a
it
little
much better
convenient.
because they were like, "Oh, Oliver Queen's like I am rich and everything," and they're like, "Well, we can't, like they're the reason why they're like we can't let you leave." Or no, what was it? No, what was it? No, the reason why an Arrow was because they said they were going to let him leave, but the fact is they were going to ask him, "Do you know who this man is?" And then he wouldn't tell them the man. So then they were like, "Okay, since you won't tell us, then we were going to torture you." You
Yeah.
know,
Well, coming soon to the channel, Talking Arrowverse or Verse Talk, name pen,
Talking Arrow.
where
Arrow Talk.
we cover
Arrow Talk. There you go. That's the
What's
one.
that show movie Broken Arrow? We could call it like what
Oh,
not what like Arrow. What's Arrow? It's
Arrow
like
Broken or something like that.
couple of broke folks that talk about Arrow. And so, a disclaimer: it is not about movie Broken Arrow.
but
And then all of a
also,
sudden,
but
boom,
also now
boom.
that Chloe is using her Brainiac supercomputer to hack in to find the antidote for Oliver, and they're touching on it now with Chloe, what's going on with her because she's been infected by Brainiac, and now she's fucking reading fast on the fucking monitors as a supercomputer. She's
Ryan
now a
doesn't.
supercomputer.
Ryan doesn't know that, dude.
No, it was addressed in this fucking episode. Have you not watched this? It was
I
already
did.
addressed. We seen what happened to her in the first episode.
Yeah.
Then they addressed it. Even Clark addressed this
That was
shit.
one of
Like,
my
Chloe,
notes for
you're
the
getting
next
smarter.
episode.
Has
By the
this
way, I
anything
was
to do
like,
with Brainiac?
you know what? I was watching it, but I was like also editing something while I was
I
watching
feel
it.
like you drifted off, dude. I
I
feel
was
like you was
editing
like,
while I was watching
oh,
it, so I was just like,
oh.
It's
but
like,
I was like, I did was because I put a note something in the next episode like how would Chloe know? How would Chloe know about this sigil in the next
Even
episode?
Clark called her out on it. It's like, dude, you're getting smarter. You're way smarter than I ever know. Beyond. Has this anything to do with Brainiac? Because it looks like it has. And she completely tries to avoid talking about it.
I will say I do like how Oliver and also Oliver finding out that Lionel Luthor kills his parents.
Oh
I
yeah,
thought
Tess.
that was so
Yeah,
good.
that was so like fucking twisted. The way that she's like, "Hey, I want you to give you closure so you can sleep at night and know who's responsible for the death of your parents."
In which, I mean, he's
But it
angry.
didn't
Like
make
he's
anything better because
angry.
now fucking Oliver is like hanging up the hood, drinking now, getting a little bit drunk on a daily basis because now he knows that Lionel's responsible for his parents' death.
Like it's almost like he's so angry. He's like, in which Clark knew because he found out
Oh
years
yeah,
ago
Clark knew
that
about it. It almost reminded me of a real reminiscence of Civil War when fucking Tony finds out about the Bucky killing his parents. And it's
Yeah.
like, did you know?
like Lionel Luther killed my parents, and he's like, which I loved the fact that Oliver found that out and everything, and he's like, which I thought that was really great, that he found that out because now he's like, now he has a arc.
Yeah, because they really wanted to give him an arc in the show since now he's a regular.
Which I mean, like, which Clark he kind of like was angry at Clark knew and he didn't say nothing, but I'm like,
I mean, I
Clark's
don't
like, it's
blame
not his
him.
place to say. It's not his place to say.
I know, but I don't blame him for wanting to be
And
pissed off because
also,
he knew about it.
if he knew that, he would seek revenge against Lionel.
Oh, he would have. He would
He
have
would
if he
have
were
not. He would have done
alive.
everything in his power to make sure Lionel
He's like,
pays.
yeah, I wouldn't kill him. No, you would have killed him if he were alive. You would have fucking gone vengeance on him.
Like Lionel literally would have wiggled his way out of a courtroom. So like like Lionel, which Lionel's dead now. He can dig up Lionel's grave and step on a skull.
But the only thing that he would have put the blame is this son, punishing the sins of the father.
Oh
Because like
yeah,
here's the thing, Lex is not dead. He's still out there.
yeah, yeah. Also, let me ask you this though, Ryan. I also did you like but did you like the reach? I hated the line, by the way. Reach in and where Lois tells Davis to reach into your tackle box and pull out a miracle. It just sounded so fake. It just
God, yeah.
sounded like
I was
It just
not a fan. Like, who's if
who talks like that?
that sounds like something you would put in a comic book in the 1950s.
You're
Raging
gonna
in your
pull out your
tackle
box
box
and you're
is
gonna pull out
all
a
I'm
miracle.
Hey. Hmm.
Like sounds like something you'd see in a Little Rascals cartoon in like the 1950s. Like which also, what kind of rich person parks in the back of an alley? Wouldn't she have a driver or someone park her car for her? Also, that does
A
not. There's no way
chauffeur.
the
Wouldn't he,
Daily
wouldn't he
Planet.
have a chauffeur?
Collins, she takes the bus. Like, have you not been paying attention? She takes the bus to work every day. Like, come on.
I mean, literally, she stopped. She stopped taking the bus, obviously, because she got a car
She was
now.
full of shit. She was full of shit, dude. It was not just because she wanted to get a ride to the bus, because she was after someone.
Also, I do like. I mean, it really. By the way, Clark couldn't. I was gonna put Clark couldn't just go to the fortress and get a cure, but I'm like, yeah, the fortress is destroyed. Never mind.
Yeah, remember,
Yeah,
the fortress is
for
destroyed. And Tess has the
fortresses.
crystal. Tess has
Also,
the crystal.
Clark couldn't just go to like the little cave and ask Jarrell for a cure.
How can he? Dude,
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out.
there's
I
not
had.
there's nothing you can you can't back this shit up at this point.
I
Like
mean, Clark could literally give some of his blood to like Oliver and see if that works.
the fortress
I
is
don't think that would work.
the fortress is a spirit Halloween store at this point. But let's go to ratings. Collins 1 to 10.
I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10.
All right, Matt, what about you?
Wow, you read my mind. Yeah, it's definitely my favorite of the three. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's really a good way to give us a little bit of a snippets to Oliver's origin. And I like that they made this more of a centric episode for Oliver.
Well, I'm gonna go a little higher. I'll go 8.5, and I'm giving a little extra oomph to Justin Hartley because I think that he understood the assignment here and really the Arrow
Well,
stuff. I was like, I'm not sure how to feel, but now that I'm like he's gonna be a regular and Hartley's actually good at his job, I'm like, okay, I think I can get on board with this.
oh, so Ryan, do you need a condom? Because because you really just really had head over heels and want to bend them over for that.
I mean,
You
you're
got
going to need
eight,
protection.
yeah,
I'm I have a
because you got a
heart.
boner for him.
I have a heart for Hartley. What can I say? But
I mean, Hartley does sell the fucking role of Oliver no matter what.
Oh, you should watch Bad Moms Christmas. I mean, you would love Justin Hartley in that.
Oh God,
He gets his
I
butthole
have
waxed
not
in
seen
that.
that movie, but I know he's fucking in that movie.
Yeah, he's like he does like a strip routine in that movie, and also
But
he
he's on
does
now
get
in a
his
new
ass
show. But now
waxed.
he's in a new crime drama show on
Tracker.
CBS Tracker, which it got its second season very quickly than I thought it would be.
I mean, he's the only actor I know of that can do like hit after hit because he went from a hit show like Smallville
Yeah,
to a
and This
hit
Is
show like
Us.
This Is Us to a hit show like Tracker. I'm
Did you
like,
know that Jensen Ackles made a guest star on his own show
I did not
Tracker?
know it.
He's supposed to be playing the older brother in that show.
I'm just saying, like Justin Hartley so far is 3 for 3. I'm just saying.
I mean, he's hitting from every network show after another.
He
I
hopes
mean,
he gives his
I,
management a raise because they deserve it.
I mean, so whoever, like, I mean, there's a couple of actors that go from hit to hit. Like, what was I think Johnny Galecki went from hit to hit.
Dude,
With from
I hope Justin Hartley just shows up for on Talkville at some point when they cover season
Oh, I'm
6.
sure he will because he was on the when Michael Rosemont was doing the audio only podcast. He appeared and
Oh
did
yeah, he
that.
did. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. He did was on it one time.
Yeah, because he was talking about This Is Us just started,
Yeah,
and he
because
was
he
like,
was
yeah,
still on that show at the time when it was still running.
yeah. Which he said that he was nervous, and he said, you know what, he was so nervous because he said, like, because he was like, I needed a job, because he said he did a pilot for Aquaman and it didn't work because, like, because it was the change of
I
leadership, they
mean,
canceled it.
but yeah, you're gonna be because you're going to so many pilots and you don't even know if they're gonna be a hit.
He said, yeah, he was relieved when he became a series regular because he's like,
I mean, Michael Rosenbaum
like,
even talked about
he's
being
like,
on some pilot of other shows that didn't get picked up.
yeah, which which I mean, the funniest thing is though, like he said he really the only thing I think he said he asked was in season 8, can he not do the voice thing with Oliver? He said, can they not do that anymore?
The
Because
voice changer thing that when he's
he
Green
said, I
Arrow.
just want to be, I hate whenever it's like, that they do that. And they're like, oh yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
we want
hey, talk like this.
listen here. Yeah, like
Listen
that's
here.
like they said the only time they're gonna do it was a secret identity, but then they fixed that real quick because they said, like you're not gonna have any scene.
The Arrow the show did it better with the
But
voice
yeah,
changer
the
thing.
funny, I just still laugh what Michael Rose, Tom Welling said about that. Wherever his voice was, when he sounded like this, he didn't know that because I was done but in post production. He
Oh
said
yeah, it
he
was
told the
dubbed.
showrunners, "Do I need to, Alan Miles? Do I need to start doing my voice like that from now on?" And like, please don't. They said, please don't. Please do not. I was like, and I said, we'll just do it in post. That's fine. Because they were worried he might actually start trying to mess. Listen here, Clark.
Listen here,
Like it'd be like
Clark.
Christian Bell doing Batman's voice. Like, please don't do that. We
Well,
don't
Chris
need that.
Bale sounded like he had throat cancer.
Right.
Steve, where's
City.
that trigger?
Well,
You're again a psychopath.
Again, a psychopath. Oh.
Again.
well, we've got one more episode left to talk about, so let's get into it. This is season 8, episode 4, called Instinct.
Next Thursday, a legendary love
When the right girl walks into your life, you'll know.
is thrown off track.
I'm Maxima, and you don't know how long I've searched for you.
Smallville! There is nothing romantic about Lois and Clark. Bring it.
Smallville, all new episode next Thursday at 8/7 Central.
When Tess inadvertently activates the mysterious Kryptonian knowledge crystal found in the Arctic, it emits a high-band beacon which summons an alien queen named Maxima, who arrives on Earth and begins a search for her new mate, with a kiss that is too strong for humans to survive. Basically, Poison Ivy and Batman and Rob.
A Poison Ivy ripoff,
Well, I mean, to
basically.
be fair, this is a
Was she
character
a
from
comic
the
book character?
comics. Yes,
Yeah,
Maxima
she
is a
was a
comic.
comic book character. Yeah, you're
Maxima is a
right.
comic book character. That's what I'm saying. This
Well,
weekend,
isn't yeah, but isn't her in a comic book character is kind of derivative to Poison Ivy?
I
Meanwhile,
mean, it might have been, but I don't know. I don't know enough about her character. All I know is
Neither
that
do I. I know nothing about her backstory in the
all I know is that I
comics.
said they took a character from a comic book where she's like a princess, and
Yeah, she's supposed to be the princess, a spoiled little princess who was looking for a soulmate.
Meanwhile, after just moving in together, Jimmy finds a letter that Chloe wrote for Clark that revives Jimmy's insecurities. And, crap. Like,
Oh, and she still kept that fucking letter after all these years.
She
Why does she
kept-
still
also
have
we're
it?
going so well. We're going so well with season 8. Do we really got to go
And,
back? That's the one
Like,
big.
why do we have to go
issue
back to the
now.
well? I mean, are they really trying to find a little bit of closure to show the fucking letter that Chloe wrote
It
years
feels
ago
like
back?
they're trying to look for a love triangle. It feels like every season there's like a note.
Let's
there
just
has to
sneak
be at
this
least one.
little love triangle, have Jimmy be a little bit of insecure.
like when Clark legit, like, pulls out the necklace with the crystal, I almost had
Oh, God. I rolled my
full
eyes.
body, like, reaction. I'm just like, oh, God, like, not
I mean,
this.
he didn't deny that he watched that fucking same videotape that Lana left for him
Were
a
you
million
expecting
times.
Ryan? Were you expecting Lana to show up?
No, like, it's been made
Were
very
you
clear.
expecting just to let him to look over and Lana be right there?
Dude, don't even get me started.
Oh, Ryan would have probably punched the screen if he would have saw
He
Lana.
would punch just a fucking
I
screen if this happened.
swear, if Lana is right behind him,
I swear to
or if we see
God.
Lana in this episode, I am going to be furious. I know she's not in this season, but I am going to be furious if Lana shows up because they know I have not seen this show. But they know if if she, but I'm like, and so that's, I bet you she was
There's
just
so
like,
much I want to say, but it's so funny.
but yeah, I'm just saying it's so fun. Yeah, but right, but yeah, Ryan. So yeah, but yeah, this the whole thing I hated was this feels like this has so many insecurities of this. This would have played out great in the next episode, by the way. You know why, Matt?
Yeah.
You know what the next episode is, right, Matt?
Oh yeah, I definitely know.
Those insecurities would have played perfectly in the next episode.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That would have made more sense than this
It would have
stupid
made
shit.
way more sense.
But it's kind of weird and convenient that that Clark's crystal shot in the beam in the sky and she called out in a beacon to miraculously appear out of thin air to find a soulmate. That kind of felt a stupid convenient timing and a little bit forced. Like makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
I will say I did like that the actress that plays her is so. I just want to say one word. Nice.
Fine.
Nice.
Honey.
I'm just saying they casted.
She's
perfectly.
difficult to resist.
The only thing is though, it was weird. I was like, that it's weird. You could tell they thought she was hot because they put the camera on her face and told her to stick her tongue down someone's throat. Because you saw she's tongue. She's
could tell
kissing that
she
dude.
definitely did. When
She's
she kissing,
and putting her tongue in his. I'm like, that's tongue.
She did that. She did that with Jimmy, sticking her tongue in his mouth.
I'm just like Sean Ashmore was probably like best day on set.
Of course,
Aaron Ashmore.
I guarantee whoever got the actors got kissed on set by her. They had a great time.
They were just like that Luke Skywalker moment in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, so just putting their arms around. But except Luke Skywalker made out with his sister, so you shouldn't be enjoying that.
And so he just goes up to the director and goes, "Thank you." Like this was the best day on set. Jimmy Olsen. I guarantee Aaron Ashmore at conventions. He's like, that was my favorite episode.
Better add some breath mints, buddy.
It wasn't like season 6 when that one girl said, "Oh, she put her shoulder on my chest and then she throws me on the woods." This literally just chick made out with me. Jimmy Olsen. No one likes Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, congratulations. Good for him. Good for him.
He was like, yeah. All of a sudden, he's just like, yeah. And then it's like tongue where he was just like, you could tell. I guarantee that reaction when he does this. That was probably his real facial reaction. Like, nice. He goes, hey, you want to go grab some dinner later? And she goes, oh, I know, I'm married. I was just like, oh, okay. Kicks rocks, and he's like, hey, can we go again on the kissing thing? I don't think we really got the kissing thing, bro. It's like Greg was like, sure, why not?
We need to redo.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling that.
How many takes did they have to do to make out?
5. Let's try to do 5. At 5, I think would be good.
I bet they did more than 5.
Oh, I bet you the crew was like, okay. Nowadays, that wouldn't fly. That would be like,
no, it would not. It would not fly today.
That would not fly today because they'd be like, no, we're not. Especially, they would have an intimacy coordinator there going, yeah, she has to, your lips have to touch this way. Like, have you noticed if you watch kissing in movies now, it's always, the women kisses here and the male kisses here.
Or they have to like fake kissing, that they do a little bit of a technique of how they're making out in the scene.
It's weird that we're talking about making out right now in techniques. Like, this is how you kiss in a movie. I'm just saying it's incredible.
Shit happens when you're in shooting like shows and movies.
I was just not expecting that. I mean, I wouldn't even notice until like all of a sudden they put the camera. They want you to know.
They wanted you to see it. They want you to see it
on their lips, and it's just like.
I mean, I don't know. Like, did they use a double when they were showing up, like zooming in the mouth?
I'm hoping they bring the actress on for that episode. I'm sure they won't.
Oh, they probably will. You never know.
I'm just saying, but you know what?
I cannot wait to see Michael Rosenbaum's reaction when he watches the seasons that he is not in.
Which, you know what? I will say this though. I do like that she is a princess coming in. Basically, I like when she kisses somebody, she gets them so horny that their heart explodes.
Their hormones go skyrocketed until your heart gives out.
It's like literally like it is kind of Poison Ivy. It's like knockoff discount.
Yeah, it was literally a derivative to Poison Ivy.
But I mean, I don't know.
And she's wearing green. She has a red hair. She kisses men, and it's the kiss of fucking death.
And all of a sudden, like in Batman,
doing a little bit of a tongue action.
Like, remember in Batman Returns how Catwoman is like, How about a little kiss, Santa Claus? And she then opens her mouth like with a taser and goes,
with a taser and getting fucking.
I always thought like
Eh.
that is gonna. She's
I
like,
mean, he probably died happy.
no, he's getting
He
electrocuted. How would he die happy? He's
he
getting
made out.
electrocuted.
He made out with her. He made out
Her
with the cat.
mouth was covering the taser, man. She had it like this. The taser was
She
first. He
still
got
did
the
tongue
taser.
action. She's still willing to do tongue
I don't
action.
know. That would be like if, hey, I'm gonna make out with you, but I got razors in my mouth. Okay, is that fine? That would basically be same equivalent.
I
It's
mean, people do crazy shit like this, sick and twisted.
like no. But I will say, I will say, it made me laugh was when Clark is sitting there making cat food or dog food,
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden he leaves. Lois like, I'm on my way. He leaves, and the dog's looking at the food, and then he comes back.
I have a feeling that's a different dog. I feel like that they did not have Bud the dog at the time. I feel like they replaced the dog in this episode.
God.
Not in the story, but out off camera when because it looks like a different dog, a different golden retriever.
Yeah. Also, I like that Tess and Maxima, like she sees Maxima there, and all of a sudden, like like she's like, maybe I can help you. And she's like, you're lying, and then she throws her and then steals her clothes. That made me.
Yeah,
Also thought was cool.
stole her dress.
Yeah, and also the Jimmy just being a nice guy. And she's like, I really hope you were there. And he's like, and everything, and then like, and I just thought those were some really good things.
I mean, it was a
like,
good scene in the hospital when Jimmy's in the hospital bed and he felt bad that he kissed another woman, cheated on his own fiance, and Clark had it was what had a cover for him when Chloe came in.
Also, did y'all notice? I don't know if I said this, but Tessa's license plate says "No Mercy."
Yep, I saw
Really?
that.
Oh man, I didn't spot that. Maybe that went over my head.
Taking
No
over
Mercy.
taking over the license
Hmm.
plate from Back to the Future that says "Out of Time" as the most on-the-nose license plate in
What
media.
about that No Mercy episode with Lionel Luther? No Mercy. Get
No,
it?
I just think that's just they were just like trying to make it
Hmm.
funny, like
That
No
doesn't
Mercy.
sound very original.
But but I will say one thing I wish they would have shown is like when she sent her guards to apprehend Maxima, and then all of a sudden you see the aftermath. I'm like, it would have been so cool to see her just throw guards around left and right. That would have been cool.
Yeah, but those were like the SWAT team that they went after. That was a
Yeah.
SWAT team that she fucking slaughtered.
I'm just saying, but I mean, it really just like and then all of a sudden Lois should be dead first off.
It was kind of funny.
Car.
It was kind of funny that she was playing the jealous girlfriend when she caught them and Clark and Maxima making out in the elevator. That was a good scene. I love that.
They're trying to force the Lois and
She
Clark thing, but it just
well, they
doesn't.
didn't. I don't want to say they forced it. I feel like that they felt
It's
right
not
that they were
building up
leaning.
naturally.
I thought they built it up naturally. That's just my opinion.
Feel like it's
But
a
I mean,
little contrived because they pushed the Clark and Lana like rock up the hill and it rolled back down, and they had to push it up and then roll it back down again.
like if it
Yeah.
just doesn't build up naturally, like he doesn't give her looks. Like to be fair, if they would have put the Clark and Chloe, it would have made more sense than Lois and Clark right now because it feels like I could see a connection there. But even though Clark's like, I don't think so, Chloe. It's like
I don't know her or something to that effect, and I'm
like
just
Clark's like bye Felicia, where he's like bye Chloe, like which I really do like the fact that Chloe. I do like the fact that that like Lois sees them and then runs away, and then Maxima just takes her car, flips it upside down. The only thing is Lois would be dead because that thing went like she should either her neck would be broken or she would literally her spine would be ripped in half.
Or
And
she'll probably have like a blunt trauma.
or she would literally just be like, like in a what's that was that wheelchair, like, she'd be basically Christopher Reeves for the rest of
Oh,
her
she'll be
life,
paralyzed from the neck down.
because there's no way she would be able to get out of that unscathed like she did. Because literally, like I'm just saying that made me go, okay, that's BS. And so I just think that just made me like, that is so BS, but
I find it funny that the Maxima just disappears back to her home world once Clark rejects her. I was like, really?
no,
That's a thing? So when she gets rejected by a Kryptonian, she just forcibly disappears, goes back to her home world, which that kind of doesn't
basically
really make any sense to me.
basically the Eric Cartman school of rejection. Like, screw you guys, I'm going home.
I mean, the whole core of that episode was really about, oh yeah, you how do you find your soulmate? Because Clark is lonely and he
this
has
episode
no
should have
Lana.
came out on Valentine's Day.
That could have been a Valentine's Day episode. I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, obviously, it would have made more sense. Also,
True.
I do like the hint that Lex is alive at the end. Whenever it has the X at the end, you're like,
Oh yeah, when the crystal disappeared on her, and now he has it.
do you think we're gonna see Michael Rosenbaum,
Come on.
Ryan?
I think so.
All right. Well,
All
actually,
right, let me ask you this
but
though.
now that Clark knows that the crystal is still out there, and he might use it to recreate the fortress and cure Chloe's like computer brainiac from her.
Let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this though. Um, all right, so let's do. I think that we wrapped everything up. What are you gonna? I'm gonna give this. If I had to give this any shields, I would say I would give this about. I would say a 7 out of 10.
All right, Matt, what about you?
I thought it was an okay episode. It's my least favorite of the three. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
this
go
is
6 as well, because as soon as I saw that necklace, I'm just like, oh dear God, really? Not again.
Not again.
Like, how many times do we have to tilt at that windmill? But
I did like the ending with Lois and Clark. I did like that ending. Like, hey, when the girl comes out, you'll know. Blah blah blah. Whenever I'm gonna find a soulmate, I did like that scene.
yeah, I like that too. Yes. But Collins, what were you gonna ask me?
no. I was gonna ask you, what do you think going forward? Like, for instance, you don't. So, what do you think? All right. So, what do you think is going to happen with Lex? Do you think Lex is going to come back in the picture? Or do you think? And let me ask you this: what are your predictions in these coming episodes?
Well, he's not coming back this season, but I think he's coming back at some point. I don't know when. I could be totally full of shit. And
Well, you're not full of shit. You're just making a guess. You just don't know the outcome of it.
I'm not saying I am in this moment. I'm just saying I could be, and y'all will never let me live it down. But
No, go ahead, make your
No, no, no.
predictions.
Go
We
ahead.
don't care.
Just do it. What?
You can
Go
live
for
to
it.
say
Let it.
Batman shows.
We're not gonna give you shit for it. Like we want you to guess. We want you to speculate. Just go outside the box. Whatever comes to your mind.
I think at some point in this show, and I might sound a little extreme, but here goes. I think Darkseid's going to come into the picture somehow.
Hmm. That's
Okay.
not bad. That's not bad.
I feel like I'm getting warm, but I'll
I
leave.
don't know. Are you?
What do you think's gonna happen with Chloe?
Since now she's still affected by Brainiac, what do you think is gonna happen to her?
I think she may become a vessel for Brainiac.
Hmm. Damn.
I mean, he kind of sort of has an in, so the door is open.
Because what you're saying is like he always has like a plan B, B, C, all the way to Z.
Pretty much, yeah.
So you think we're gonna see Brainiac again?
I think so, yeah.
Do you think we'll see James Masters as Brainiac in the flesh?
No, I don't think so.
Fair.
No, I don't think
Uh,
so, but I think his spirit will be there somewhere.
what?
I mean, like his character's spirit will be
Like
imbued.
he's just gonna like literally, it's just gonna be like they're gonna get like another guy instead of James Master, and be like, my name's Frank Masters. Yeah,
like like
I'm
how
Brainiac.
like how Lex was possessed by Zod. I feel like that's going to be the thing
I
that'll
think he's referring to that he'll have some vessel.
Okay,
That's what
that's
he's
like, oh, I
referring.
thought like they were gonna get like another actor to play. But I'm like, what now?
that's what I was talking about.
Okay, but yeah, but oh, okay. So also, do you think like okay, okay, so all right, and what about Davis? Who do you think he is?
Yeah, Davis Bloom. Like, who do you think he is? Because we saw the last time that we saw a little bit of suspicious of him was in the Plastique episode, where he's laying in the alley, sweating butt naked, and something's happening. And it looks like he had a blackout moment.
And no, he did not.
But he does play an important role in this as a character. And what do you think he is?
And I will say this before you answer, Ryan. No, he did not meet the sisters in Shawshank Redemption.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Like, yes,
Just guess. Just name drop it. Doesn't really matter.
I think he's Darkseid. I don't know how, but I think he's Darkseid. They're gonna find a way to jimmy that in there.
That's not a bad guess.
But but I pass it off to all of you watching. What did you think of these 3 episodes? Let us know in the comments. We would love to read what you have to say. It's a privilege to do this show with these guys every single week. Jacob, where can the people find you?
3D Movie Cinema at youtube.com/3D Movie Cinema.
Okay. Matt, what about you?
Yeah, find my YouTube channel is at Matt Wyatt 92. I know that there's going to be a couple of new big movies that's going to be coming out in about a couple of weeks, I think. It's like Wicked and Gladiator 2, which I'm definitely will go see those movies and give my review on that for sure.
I thought you said you were also going to see Heretic.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I don't know when I will see Heretic, and I'm hearing great things about it, and I will get on it, but I just need to find a schedule of when I will see it.
You didn't go see what was that one that came out last weekend? The
I don't
one,
know.
the
Was
Tom
it
Hanks movie Here.
I've heard a lot of terrible things about that movie,
It's
and
the gimmick. You know the biggest gimmick is it's shot in one on one. It's shot with
yeah,
one
it's shot
frame.
in a single shot.
A single
That's
shot.
what I've
That's
heard
all it is. That is the gimmick.
throughout time. I saw the trailer for it,
I'm
and
like, I showed somebody that trailer, and they're like,
it
"This
looked
just looks.
interesting,
It looks
but then nobody was talking about it when it came out of nowhere in theaters,
from a
and I saw the
filmmaking.
Rotten Tomatoes, like, ooh, I guess that it's not really that good
This
from what
should have
I'm
been a
hearing.
30-minute film short. I think it would have been perfect.
It could have been a short movie.
But I just think that was just a gimmick that they, and it was
Yeah,
like,
but
I
I'm
was like,
still but after my recovery from my sickness, I'm trying to get back on board and catching up on some other films that I missed out
like
on.
Venom.
I well, I don't know if I will see Venom.
It's
Whether
actually not bad. Like it's
I don't know if
actually
I want to
maybe
see it. I don't know. Maybe I will see it eventually, but there's another film, We Live in Time. I think that's what the one with Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh. That one I want to check out.
you want to watch that one. I was like, to
I'm
me
hearing
that
great things about that movie, and it's like, dude, it's gonna make you
that
cry
just
from
seems
what
like
I've.
a movie you would see like on a streaming site somewhere.
I don't know, but I'm hearing great things, and a lot of people are saying that you're gonna fucking ball.
Well,
I
But I
mean,
don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
I do like a tearjerker.
I love Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh. They're great actors.
I mean, that's what you know what. It's a good. You know what? You know what? A tearjerker is what everyone needs occasionally.
Every now and then.
Just
Sometimes you
get
just
some
need to
lotion
sit
and
there.
become a tear. Just get some
Sometimes you just
lotion.
need tissues and cry.
Yeah, you just need to get some lotion, get some tissues, and then
Okay,
become a
lotion.
tearjerker.
Okay, lotion. I wouldn't. Okay, I see where you're getting it.
but give both of these guys a subscribe, link in the description. And then this channel, as far as this channel goes, uploads have been a little slower than normal. I've been easing up a bit, but the
You're a
night
sick, dirty little bastard, Jake.
I'm sorry. I was just thinking about there's a scene in America. If you watch American Horror Story,
Oh
there is
God.
literally there's a tearjerker moment.
Which one? Which
In
one?
season one, Murder
The
House.
first? Oh, the Murder House episode. Oh,
Yes,
the Murder
Dylan,
House
he
show.
sees the maid masturbating and he gets so
Oh
turned
God.
on
Oh
that
no.
he starts
Oh,
masturbating and then he starts crying.
I
And now he
remember. I
becomes a
remembered.
tearjerker.
Oh my God.
And then Dylan
Oh,
McDermott has been literally like a campaign ambassador for that, saying it's okay to masturbate and cry. It's called a tearjerker, okay? It's okay, or cry
now I
baiting.
now I remember. Oh God.
And he
well,
literally says he encourages everyone to do it. I'm like, and he does that in season. They bring him back for season 5, for the Murder House subplot, or in season 8, I think.
I think it was
Or season,
Apocalypse.
yeah, Apocalypse. And literally, he does that. He says he's like sitting there. He goes, "I got to go masturbate and cry."
Oh
And then
God.
they're he said, "Well, what, the tearjerker? That guy's a tearjerker." It's like,
no.
Literally. No, figuratively and literally.
literally, he does that. He's like, I'm like,
Well, on that pleasant image and pleasant note, the 1999 project on Fridays, Smalltalk on Tuesdays. Got some fun stuff planned for the month of November and December. But for Jacob Collins, for Matt Wyatt, my name is Ryan Cam. For Truth, for Justice, for the American Way, always hold on to Smallville, and you all take care.